When you go to countries like DR, Colombia, Philippines, all of those, they teach these girls since birth. When you get older, you are to find a husband. You need to learn how to be everything this man. If this man wants you to you got your period, he wants to sleep with you, you better do it. Whatever he wants, you have to serve your man.
What have you been taught in
we're
contrast?
Taught to survive. We're taught to survive. If you don't make it, remember at 18.
Why is that? Why is it that you're in survival mode? Why?
Because that's just I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth.
You don't need to have a silver spoon. There's plenty of people that are not born with silver spoons and still come out decent people.
But at the end of the day, depending on your circumstances and where you at and money, survival. A lot of times is if you don't work hard, you won't have anything in life.
I'll be real with you if we're going to talk about the black people thing, yeah? Like, I'll be real with you. And listen, I was the same as everybody else until I actually traveled and left this country and left my corner and all my little batch of friends and the girls I was messing around with. And I started to understand the world a lot better. To be honest, yeah, one of the biggest reasons is because we glorify dysfunction in the black community. We do it to like an alarming degree. And that's why, yes, the children are going to be on survival mode because we're usually put in the horrible situations. Horrible. Mm-hmm. I think black people need to take a leaf out of a lot of other cultures' book. Mm-hmm. But we think we're so much better than other people. We think we're like, because we can sing and dance and can catch a football or kick a football and this, so we think we're better. Or because we got Jay-Z and Beyonce there, so that means black people, we made it. Or we had Barack Obama was an American president, so we made it. No, bruv, no.
But we should,
because guess what? Better. In our communities, is still loads of single parent homes, loads of boys wanting to do gang, and lots of girls that are following and being disciples of Cardi B.
But you got.
That's the problem. No, that's the real problem, bro.
No, but
because if these kids, if people wasn't, and also we hypersexualize ourselves as well. So black men have the stereotype. Oh, the BBC. Oh, we was talking about Adam 22. How ironic we was talking about. And you had the BBC guy smashing his chick, and then the women are over sexualized, twerking. Every time you go on any girl, even the ones that are good girls, you go on the Instagram page. What pictures do they have? Think about it, man. Think about it. So if we have that mentality from young, so we just ended up, because we don't have nothing better to do, because we're not aiming high. Not all, obviously not all, but too many are not aiming high. They don't have no ambition to do anything, so they're just fucking. And then they go and have kids early when they're not meant to be having kids. They're not meant to be smashing anyway, but because they're not have no focus to do anything worthwhile. A lot of them don't even think that they're worthy.
But let me ask you this, right? If we don't sit there and have that type of confidence and things about ourselves, who's going to do it for us? The most hated man in the world is the black man. With the most pressure on his back is the black man, because black men hate each other and every other race hates you, right? Mm-hmm. Then after the black man is the black woman. Mm-hmm. Why is that? Because the strength that black people could have if we actually got together and were like other cultures, if we were like the Asians, if we were like the Russians, even the Albanians, if we were like them, where they sit there, what do Asians do? They come to everybody else's country and they say, hey, it's your turn to build your business. Everybody will go work for that nail shop or whatever shop they have, Chinese restaurant, whatever it is, work for that. You're established. Now all of y'all come work for me.
Let me tell you, no, hold on. Before you jump to all of that, yeah, do you know the first step? The first very step, family. That's where everything starts, in the home. Because you can have all of that kind of mindset and but if your family, your home is dysfunction, it's going to have an effect on you, and you're going to have some kind of trauma, and it's going to have some residual results from that. You may not even be cognitive of it.
So maybe the man should stop leaving.
Yeah,
the man should stop leaving.
People are teaching our children that if they can do anything or be anything, and you have to, as an adult. That's why for me, I say my prime has been in my 30s, because I've let that go. I've had to learn how to love myself and know that I can do what the fuck I want to do, because I am me and only me. make my decisions.
That's difficult to put that in. No, but it's difficult to put that in the black community because the way the world see us, no, we can't do anything and we can't be anything. Unless
you're good at a sport, or you can sing, or you can rap.
The straight thing is, we need to teach our children. Straight thing is, we need to teach our children. I'm sorry to say, but back on your point, I will never teach my child that she has to survive in life. There is no survival. You damn well live. And I'll be honest with you, like my dad's side is a black, my dad's side is Jamaican, my mom's side's white, right? My mum's side of the family, they live for it. No child, okay, you're a great singer, go be a great singer, whatever. There's no chip on anyone's shoulders. Do you get what I mean? From the black side of our family, like my cousins stuff, like they've seen me on podcasts and they've got that little bitterness about he's on there talking about black people. Have you not seen these videos? But hold on a minute, I'm just doing something for me. Support me. Do you get what I'm saying? Like we as a community, we don't have that. We don't want to build like agents, as you said, they build each other up. They all come work in that same shop. Your cousin will be looking at you like, but hold on a minute, I've been here for 8 hours. Give me an extra. But that's the realist of it because we don't want to build each other up. We're always fit for that. It's my household, my family, my name, and I need to survive. Well, actually, no, bro. You're meant to be part of a community. That's why Asians work.
And let me tell you this: the only people that have ever said disparaging things or tried to ruin what I'm trying to build has only been people from my community, black people.
Take it back to the Jim Crow laws, all of that from back in the day when they sat there, broke the house over from slavery, broke the household up, said, hey, the light-skinned black person, you're better than the dark-skinned black person. The house black person, I don't want to say the house N-word, the house N-word is better than the Phil N-word, X, Y, and Z. So when you have already embedded that mentality into a culture, a race, or whatever, because race is not even real, but when you've embedded that into them,
human race,
it's going to keep trickling down and trickling down and trickling down. And not to even be a preacher, if black people actually got together and were one how the Asians are, it would be unstoppable, and it's scary, and that's what the world is scared of.
Yeah, but this is the thing. But you know what?
But that problem's always going to be there when we're talking about separating the races like that. Why shouldn't everybody come together like that?
Because the reality is in this world is teams.
Yeah, but it's not.
No. I'm telling you, the reality in this world, because you're saying some utopia, but the world is. The planet Earth, the human race have never been utopia. That doesn't exist. It's never been that. It's always teams. It may not have been necessarily black, white, or Asian, but you come from that tribe, I come from this tribe. We're going to come and take whatever you got. That's humans. That's the human race are like that. Yeah. That's reality. But oh man, I lost the point I was gonna say. The reason why, because that what you're saying, I agree with you. But the problem is, there's a lot of bad mind, there's a lot of jealousy, there's a lot of envy. Like the people. Okay, like for instance, people make reaction videos like disparaging me. They've said a lot of things that they don't even know if it's true or not, but they come out and say it confidently, like, yeah, he's this. Yeah, and they don't understand that the thing what I'm trying to do now could actually become a platform where I can employ other people, where I could help other people, and I could actually build a community that actually does more than just have me here sitting with girls. But they don't understand that. They don't see the big picture because they think that they're going to become something trying to tear me down. So if they tear me down, they don't understand. They're not going to go anywhere either. But this is the mentality a lot of us have. And this is the thing. This is why I'm saying I was like everybody else. I was a hater as well. And it wasn't until I went out there and I started to see, and I was around people that are not like the usual friends I used to have back in the ends and that, and I started to see, and now I have friends that are like millionaires. I know people that are millionaires now, and like the way they talk and the way they think, and it's just like raw. So this is why my community is so effed up. Yeah, because you don't have the right mentality. It's all hating. It's all. Bro, you can't even work with other, as a black guy, you can't even work with majority of black guys because majority of black guys are trying to fuck your girl. Yeah, that's a basic thing. Press 1 in the chat if you know what I'm talking about, bro. You can't even trust. You can't even go into business with most people because they're gonna try and take something. They're gonna try to steal from you in some way or another. You can't even do good business. Like, I want a discount on this and I want a discount on that. Yeah. Bro, like, fam, that's not how it works. If we look at the ethnic groups and the success of the ethnic groups, I'm sorry, it's not even Stevens. It's not even. So you can't. From you guys. No. I understand. I'm in the community. I understand. Yeah, but what I'm saying is that within your own community, that needs to be strong first before you deal with other communities. Yes, if you don't know yourself, this is when you're in danger, bruv, because they know themselves, and you're trying to mingle and work with other people. And you can't even work with your own people.
Exactly.
You can't. It doesn't work, fam. And then what happens is when people branch out and people have sound mind and they go and work with other communities, a lot of times they don't come back because they're like, why am I gonna come back? Because like it's just dysfunction, bruv. And people are gonna be hating on me anyway.
I agree with you.
You know what I'm saying? Like, go on.
Can I say something?
Go on.
Like I agree. And one thing that we have to understand is the fact that we are, as a black community, we literally got set up with this system to hate and divide each other, like to not be unite. And the fact, and I blame us, still up to now, I blame us because it's not our fault if the system was made like this, but it's our fault if we still accept it and we use it. And the fact that as a black community, we agree to say nigger. While it is something that they put against us to divide us even more, is the first thing that proves we are so deceived in our own community.
I've talked about this for years, bruh. Like the fact that why are like rappers and athletes like the role models in our community? They're not meant to be the role models.
You know why?
They're entertainers and athletes. And I'm not taking anything away from them because guess what? I played American football in the States as well. And I wanted to be a pro athlete as well. And guess what? It's only 0.000% of anybody that goes to college that's going to actually make it. So really and truly, everybody being so hyper invested in that is actually kind of a waste of time when you think about it.
Maybe it's
not really. It gives hope, right? So. And what I'm about to say, people might take the wrong way, but when you are black, you are born into a disadvantage. Just from the color of your skin and being black, you are born a disadvantage. Period. I don't care how rich your family is.
What does LeBron James, being a multi-millionaire basketball player, do for the black kids in the hood that
does a lot.
On survival mode?
He does a lot. But so when you say you don't see the value in athletes and this and that, right? If I'm already born into a situation, right, where survival mode is what I see, when I turn on my television and I turn on whatever and I could see people who came from the same circumstances I came from and they made it out and they're making money and they're doing this and they're sleeping with white chicks, because how many
players are in the NBA?
How many players are there?
Yeah, how many players are in the total NBA?
I don't know. Every team has about 12 players maybe.
How many teams are there? Just a rough estimate. It doesn't have to be 100%.
Let's say there's 500 players in the NBA, right?
500.
Let's say there's 500.
How many black guys are in America? How many black guys do you think are in America?
There's a lot. Like I get.
So if there's only 500 out of these billion. Bruh, I get it is kind of like a beacon of hope. I understand what you're saying. Like you're seeing somebody, they made it, so I might be able to make it as well. It's not total despair. But what is the reality? And this is where I think that a lot of times, and I'm not trying to be funny, but I think guys tend to be more on a logical basis where women tend to be more fairy tale mind because you can get away with it. At the end of the day, like the majority of men, are not going to be a superstar, a rapper, an athlete, or any of that crap.
So let me tell you this.
So what would actually be of better benefit is to see legitimate men who, they may not be a millionaire, they may not be a billionaire, they may not be singing to screaming fans, but they actually did the right thing. They went into a decent field, they went to school, they went to college, they graduated, they went into a proper job, they got married, they had kids, no dysfunction, just normal. That's the kind of shows they should put on TV. And even if that doesn't represent the majority, that's what they should be pushing. Because guess what they do push? Drill music. And what else do they push? Be a basketball player, NFL player, and then criminal. You said you didn't even know there was black. You said you didn't know there was black people in the UK till you watched Blue Story. What's Blue Story about?
Criminal and gang activity. But let me say this, right? Let me say two things, right? I get what you're trying to say.
I ain't trying to say it. I said it.
I said what you said. I get what you say. You said what you said, and I get what you're saying. Okay, period. Poo. But at the end of the day,
don't call me poo though. Doo-doo. Hey, doo-doo. I see you.
At the end of the day, guess where that starts from? Your parents, right? So if your parents instill in you that you can be whoever you want to be, you're going to go to school. You're going to strive to be whoever you want to be. But if you're in a situation and you're brought up on survival mode and you don't have let's say you're a young black man, right? If you're a young black man, your father's not in the home. Your single mom is raising you. You have siblings. She's working 2 jobs to raise you. So she don't have time to really sit there and nurture you and encourage you like she should. The streets is now raising you. So what do you see as an outlet? You turn that on. You turn the TV on. You see the rappers. You see the basketball players. You strive to be that because guess what? You see your mom working hard. You don't want your mom to work hard
Nobody's
all the time.
that, though.
You want to give her what you can give her. But it also it comes down to parenting, your parents, how you are raised. If you are raised in survival mode, you're going to see how can I get money quick,
but I'm talking about before you get to survival mode. I'm talking about before that. Yeah. Before you've put your child into survival mode, bro. Everybody needs to look in the mirror. Am I in a situation where I can actually raise another human being so they don't have to be in survival mode? Because guess what? A lot of our parents put us in that because they didn't know better. Because they was ignorant or they were just stupid. Yeah. And that's what it is. And I don't give a crap. And I come from a single parent family as well. And most of my friends come from single parent families. And guess what? Most of my friends went jail.
Yeah, but
that's the thing.
Like, what can I do? You can learn something from that. Do I want to be like this? What can I do? What can I do? What can I do to be different from this? Not my mom and my dad. How can I reach this? Can I reach this by going, playing basketball, rapping, or trying to do something stable? So it's about you. It's not about your mom or dad.
Go on, let us speak.
The same way as a grown man, as a grown woman can turn around and say, I've had 5 say for instance, like I've had 5 relationships in my life and they've all been toxic because of X, Y, Z. I'm gonna break the cycle in my next relationship. Why, as a grown adult, I was growing up in a bit of a, I wouldn't say my childhood weren't all like silver spoons, like probably like you. I weren't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. But when I got to that above teenage age and I started to look out on the world and look at my peers in school, regardless, you could have gone to the most hood-ratted school. Guaranteed you got one teacher in there that's a role model to look up to. At a certain point, you have to get that chip off your shoulder and decide to be the cycle breaker. My daughter comes from a single-parent household. Am I going to assume my kid's going to be older and be a single parent mother? No, because I'm praying and I'm hoping and I'm trying to install and show her you are going to be the break of that cycle. Yes. Same way in our black community, we might, we might have the role models or do you know what I mean? It might have be stereotypical, like angry or violent or loud. But how about instead of just playing into that stereotypical because you want to be defensive now because you got that chip on your shoulder, how about changing that and breaking the cycle?
But do you realize
it's not about your environment, it's not about your parent, it's not about your parent.
Your choice.
It's about
you.
I agree with
and do you think we can keep using our parents and their parents and how the way we've been brought up and the experiences we've had as an excuse? Or you can be right, okay.
No.
Now's time for change.
Growing
like, do I want this to carry on?
Growing and evolving is natural. You either don't or grow. Yeah.
Listen.
Yeah, but some people will carry on.
I definitely agree with you, but you have to remember, not everybody is mentally strong to do that. We could sit there and we could keep telling people, right? And I'm gonna be honest. My mother is bipolar and a manic depressive, right? So I said she never had a job. She can't work. She can't work because mentally you can't do it. But at the end of the day, a lot of times when she wants to cry and I say the same thing to her. I got a chip on my shoulder, but you know why I'm where I am? Because I let it go. Everybody is not strong enough to do that.
That's a fair point.
Everybody is not strong. And that's why I said mental health is a real thing. We all have everybody has mental health issues in some kind of way. We all have mental health issues, right? It's how you process it, how you live past it, how you get through it. So at the end of the day, it's easy to say, but why can't you just dust it off and do this? But can you actually do that? If you're not mentally strong enough to do it,
you're talking about an individual though. I'm talking about a community.
Yeah, this is one of the things.
Fair enough, your mum mum might not be that person that is mentally strong, but guess what? I'm sure she has a family member or or a brother or a sister or a friend or someone in her community, especially being in a black community, to turn around like the same way. Like if we were talking about an Asian woman, she would probably have a cousin, a sister, or someone who, or do you know what I mean, in that community that is like, I don't want to see you like that. Whereas in the black community, we're like, oh, you're down there?
That's what I wanted to say. Like, one thing that we actually doing as a black community is finding excuses, because I can see white people doing things that is impossible, but we will find an excuses for everything. And one thing that I'm tired to see is the black men waiting for a Caucasian to save their life or do something that will change.
Especially in the UK.
Like, the white people.
What did you say?
Especially in the UK.
What do you mean?
Let me tell you something. I have never seen so many black men, especially good, eligible black men. And every time you see them, they have.
This is gonna get. All right, everybody, make sure you hit the like button. I can feel this is about to get techie, bruv. Hit the like button. Get us up. I don't know. 200 of you hit the like button. Go on.
All I'm saying is that, and it's one of my pet as a black woman in America. A strong black woman in America, it is one of my biggest pet peeves. And when I come here, it is very hard sometimes to suppress this, because you'll see so many good black men. And the minute they make it, F you, black woman, let me go get my snow bunny, because to them, that means that they've made it. I'm telling you.
Wow.
And I'm not trying to be racist. I'm not trying to be any of that. I'm being very real right now.
Something?
Let her finish.
The minute they start becoming, because at the end of the day, everybody loves a black man. No matter what race it is, black men are very desirable. Everybody loves a black man.
You said everyone hates us.
No. Men.
What do you mean? No. You said everyone hates us.
It's a fetish.
Sexually,
it's a fetish.
Everybody desires a black man. Whether you're Asian, it don't matter, green, it don't matter your color.
I don't know.
Black men
I don't know about Asian. Asians like white guys, bro.
But black men are desirable.
They like white guys.
What they teach you is that when you're in your struggle, it's okay to be with a black woman. But when you make it,
who teaches them that?
You better. That's what society. That's what society.
No, it's not.
Who taught them that?
That is society.
That's not true.
That is society.
I'm not gonna lie. That same thing that you said to me earlier, that ain't speaking from experience. That's speaking from her, and that's speaking from a. Please don't take it. I'm not speaking just to you, but if we're talking about those type of women that have that, you're insecure, because clearly you are more afraid and more worried about what another woman, regardless of her damn race, or what she can bring a man to a table that you find is suitable for you than what you could bring.
Yeah, you're still not trying to learn why they like her. Like,
it's literally
not.
It doesn't because it's not because she's pale skinned. Trust me.
I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you right now, right? As somebody,
can I ask you a question though?
Yes.
What makes you strong? Because you said I'm as a strong. What do you mean by strong?
Why, because
what do you mean by that?
When I talk about people learning to survive, that's something you learn at birth. I had to learn how to survive since birth. So that's when I say, so a lot of people, survival mode a lot of times happens as birth. And when you start to realize what's around you, you start to learn how to survive, right? So when I say strong.
Do you think that strong element is desirable?
No, not to a man, not at all. Men need to be needed. Men need to be needed, not at all.
What kind of men, what kind of men do you think would be attracted to that strong element?
Oh, a man who wants to be taken care of. Oh. A boy. A male.
A boy and all of that. Yeah, and that's probably not the type of guys you actually want, is it?
Can I say something?
And then when you date those type of guys that you don't actually want, it kind of paints a kind of dreary view of men, because your experience is dreary. So then you have a just dreary experience. Yes, it is, because your experiences will mold and shape your reality and your perception.
But you have to remember,
if you've only had good experiences with black men, you wouldn't be saying this stuff.
No, but you again, I'm going to take it back to this. I'm always take it back to this. We have two different cultures, right? So one thing that my friends always say to me...
We got single mothers here. We got single mothers here, bro.
Let me finish what I'm saying.
The hood is here. No, because you thought Blue Story. You thought black people was here from Blue Story, bro.
Let me finish what I'm saying. Let me land. Let me finish what I'm saying. We have two different cultures here, right? So when I come over here, when most Americans come over here, what people always say is that in America, y'all are very racist. Y'all see race, which is true. In America, Black people stay with black people, white people stay with white people, whatever your racial class is, that's who you stay with. When you come here, everybody is very intermingled, and that's what I love about here. Is that you come here?
No, you don't.
Yes,
You just said that you didn't like it. Now you're saying you like it.
No.
UK is not intermingled like that.
Yes, it is. When you go out here, you will see an Asian, a white, a black, all be best friends hanging out, an Indian, all best friends hanging out, or whatever like that. You do not, that's not something that is very common. If you are, let's say if you are a
Not
white
in New
person,
York.
in America.
No, but I'm saying where you're from, New York.
New York is diverse, but everybody still stays with their race.
But that's the same as in England, I'll be real.
But mostly people stick with their, most people stick in their own community.
But everybody here, like in America, we always see racism. Yes, in America, we always see racism. So here it is, y'all are accustomed to seeing black men, white women. You're accustomed to that. That's just, everybody out here is mixed race. That's what y'all see. In America, that is not what we see on the average. So when
you look mixed race.
I know I look mixed race, but I'm Caribbean. There is some white in there. There's some black in there. Everybody's mixed race.
So what's your problem then? Because you're mixed race too.
Well, my parents are black. My father is mixed race.
Yeah, so your father's mixed race.
My mother's a light-skinned black woman, right? Her family's from Montserrat. But at the end of the day, everybody...
So you're mixed race then?
Yes. Everybody's mixed race. I'm mixed race.
What the hell?
Everybody's mixed race. I'm mixed race. But I came from two black parents, two black experiences. I don't come from a white parent, a black parent. I come from two black parents with a black experience. I just happen to be a lighter complexion. That's it. What I'm saying is that...
That's because in America you see mixed race as black, whereas in England we see mixed race as mixed race.
Mixed race. We don't do that whole mixed race thing. If I'm back home, they'll be like, you're a black woman. It's only here you got to defend your race here.
No, it's actually ridiculous. It's actually biology.
It's not like that.
It's actually biology.
It's not like that. Like,
yes, it is like that. I have a video of that. I have a video of an Indian man cursing me out.
Hold on.
I came here 5 years ago, and I don't believe like someone that is born and raised here with their own friends and everything is coming to hang out with me. Yeah, I can have some friends, but I would never see like how you said Asian or someone coming from outside going into this group of child that are being raised here.
Yeah, no,
I see you.
I see it all the time. It can happen.
Okay.
It can happen.
I see what you're saying.
It can happen,
I see what
but
you're saying.
not everybody is mixing with everybody.
It's not as mixed as you think.
I can come from Italy, and I can meet Caddy. How I meet Caddy? Somewhere, we come from different race, but we meet each other because we are at the same point, like right now. But imagine she was raised here, having her own friends.
Should be totally different.
And then maybe she won't come and talk to me. She'll be like, who's this?
What you have in common, even the fact that you both have accents and you come from that's in common. Like, because I'll tell you now, like, really and truly, more time people usually predominant. I'm not saying 100%, but predominantly are usually within their own community. Even let's dissect it within the black community, the UK, bro. Nigerians tend to be Nigerians and Ghanaians and Jamaicans and bro, that's how it is. There's whole. You could go to a club and it will be dance hall, and it would just be Caribbeans predominantly. There might be some Africans in there, and maybe a few, but like really and truly, it's usually Caribbeans that go there. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
Culture-wise, is like
but you're talking different.
Every day, though.
But y'all never let me land. Every time I say something, I'm gonna be honest. Y'all never let me land, so y'all just already start going on, and then y'all never actually let me finish the point of what I'm trying to say. And what I'm trying to say is that here, as a person, as an outsider that comes here, that visits here, you're not going to go to America and see so many out in the open, regular, not desirable, not stars. You're not going to see so many regular, average black men with white women. You're going to see black men with black women. You might see black men with Spanish women. You're not going to see it. When you come here, it is very regular for white men to have, for black men to have white women. Now, let me make another point. Why I say that when you make it, they teach you that lighter skinned women and white women are more desirable. In New York, if you try to go to a club, right, especially back in the day, things are changing now because now lawsuits, things are changing, right? I am older. I am in my 30s. I have been clubbing since I was 16. When I used to go to the club, when I would go with my dark-skinned friends, guess what? I I could get into that club, Greenhouse, different clubs like that. I could get into it, no problem. My dark-skinned friends would be denied at the door.
We're not.
Because there's certain celebrities there, or there's certain type of men there. They teach you darker skin may not be appealing or whatever. This is what they used to teach back in the day. Ooh. So why do so many
who and where? I'm not disputing what happens in America. I'm not disputing. I didn't grow up there. I went there, was there for a few years, but really and truly to live there is a different thing. So I'm not disputing your experience there. But what we are disputing is what happens here.
Yeah. It's the same thing.
That's what we're that's what we're disputing. And I think you was taking it as, we're saying that it's like that in America. No, we're talking about that's how it is here. Yeah. Like, do you get what I'm saying?
Like, when you talk about like every day, right? I went to a school in Bromley. Yeah, Bromley's a predominantly white area. My secondary school, something like high school, something for you, like from 11 till 16, 11 to 18, whatever, right? In our school, I always make jokes about it. Our school was like High School Musical on a race level. Do you know what I mean? Like, and for me, I'm very passionate about this topic because as a mixed race girl in London growing up, it was, I wouldn't say I had a difficult time, but there was a point of my teenage years where it was, I don't fit into the white girl group. I didn't really fit. Like I felt more comfortable in the black girl group, but there's still that little. Do you know what I mean? So where the fuck do I fit? Because there is that serious segregation, and still as a mixed race woman now, like I've only ever been racially attacked or attacked because of my skin color by black women.
That's how you're not growing black enough.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm saying that going back to the whole point of like America's different to the UK, it's really not, babe. I grew up in a school where like for instance, here's a basic thing. My name's Rebecca Tamara, whatever, right? People say I've got
the government.
Yeah, no. I didn't say. But you can't find me on social media. Don't worry. You ain't got my last name. But anyways, my name's Rebecca Tamara, and my friends, I was in a predominantly black girls when I grew up. Do you know what I mean? Like as a teenager, they used to make jokes because Rebecca was too much of a white name for me, and they used to call me Raquisha, and that is that is like plain and simple because the segregation of like. You're Asian, so like even when you get a new kid in school in secondary, it wasn't like you got a new kid and. I remember one girl, let's call her like Lucy, like for instance, yeah. There was no way Lucy on her first day was coming to sit at my table. There weren't. We weren't racist as kids, but you didn't fit in, babes. Mm-hmm. You might as well just go speak to Emily, and Emily will let you fit. That is everyday life in England.
But see, that's your UK experience, right? No. So just like I'm coming from my American experience, right? Here, mixed race, we don't even say that. We do not even say that. If you're black, you're black. It wasn't until here when I started coming here, people are like, oh, but she's mixed race. She's not a black woman. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Because that's how segregated England is. It's because even in our black community, we have light skin, brown skin, dark skin.
But this is what I'm saying. If we all walk down this block right now, we are going to see 1,000 mixed race girls, right? We're going to see 100 mixed race girls. If you walk down the block in America, you're going to see, again, black with black, white with white.
I don't think
Asian with
I've
Asian.
heard people say this before, yeah, but I think it's of a lot of times you don't notice everybody.
Yeah,
do you get what I'm
just
saying?
Said mixed race people are just black.
Yeah, the majority of black men are with black women, whether you don't believe it or not. That is what it actually is. That's the truth. Now, I'm not gonna say it's like 80-20, but the majority, that's more than 50%, right? Most people will date and couple up within their group. Yeah, you may see a lot of boys, dating a lot of other people, but a lot of times people usually gravitate back to their group. Yeah. That's the reality. Mm-hmm. That's the actual truth about it.
Let me ask you this, right? Mm-hmm. Let me just bring it to this, since you guys don't, not to say believe what I'm saying. What is
no one's saying you don't believe what you're saying.
No, let me just say this. What is the most famous line that Kanye has in his song? He gets put on and he leaves your ass for a white woman. That literally is what happens. Are you saying where is it being taught?
He's American, though.
It's not that.
He's talking about the American experience.
That it's being taught in school. But when you go out and you live, especially as an adult, and you get in the dating world, it is something that you see. When you go to these parties, right? Let's say if you sit there and you go to parties that are exclusive parties with, let's say, Chris Brown or whoever it's going to be, you're going to see nothing but mixed race looking girls, light skinned girls. You might see one dark skinned girl in there, but they're always going to sit there and have exotic looking women.
I agree with you.
Because they're trying to push that narrative on you that you've made it.
I agree with
now
you.
This is what you should date.
This is why you shouldn't idol worship. Do Do you get it?
Yeah.
This is why, and again, it goes back to what I was saying about rappers and athletes being the role models in our community.
They deceive
If he
us.
wasn't the role models, he wouldn't. Who give a crap who he's dating, who has his party? Doesn't matter.
Can I say something? One thing that I can actually tell you, the reason why black men go back to dating light skin or white girl and they become like angry to black women is because we are born to the struggle. Like the fact that we make everything so difficult. Why would you, if I'm trying to elevate in my life, why would I put myself again in the struggle with another black woman that is angry again? That's why some black men go to date other races. It's not about looks. It's about the struggle that you put again, in the back of your... No. Just the fact that you say, I was raised up in a struggle and a hustler.
Survival.
Exactly, survival mode. Why would I put myself again in the survival mode if I'm trying to be a free black man? That's why you should understand that it's not about color.
Yourself
but I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you right now. At the end of the day, why a lot of black men will go get a white woman, because they are going to be more submissive than most black women. Most black women, we are headstrong. Again, we have strong personalities. We'll sit there, we'll argue with you. It's not going to be let me just sit down, shut up, and serve you, right?
Every woman will argue with you.
I'm going to have to say objection to that. As somebody who dates women and you don't date women, they will give you headache. They all give you headache.
But when you actually sit there and talk to men, when you actually sit there and again, I had a radio show for 3 years, right? I'm social work, all this. I studied all of this. When you and talk to people, when you actually sit there and talk to men, and you talk to black men, and you say, "Hey, why did you do this? Why do you prefer to date white women?" They all say the same thing. It's just easier. It's calmer.
Yeah, that's what she just said. That's what she was just saying.
And I was agreeing with her, but she was saying something more like, so why would they go back to the survival? And that's when I said submissive, and you said no. So I'm like, let me explain what I mean by submissive.
It's two things.
When you make that money, you want a submissive female.
Yeah, it's the submissive, because and I've said this before in a video before a long time ago. Yeah, is that unfortunately for black women, you lot have gone through a hell of a lot of crap here and abroad, foreign and domestically, right? And unfortunately, it's kind of fostered a certain mindset, psychology that unfortunately is just not desirable to a lot of times the kind of men that you want to couple up with. That's the reality about it. That's the reality. And at the end of the day, everybody has to be accountable. Just like if a man is broke and women do not want to date him because he's broke, the man is not going to say, "Oh, well, the reason because I'm broke is this." No, he's going to have to go and get his money or just play with your willy, bro. That's it. And men do not, and I think men have this understanding because men have to be told the truth from young. You're not fast enough. You're not strong enough. You're not tall enough. You don't have enough money. We are told these things from early. And yes, the women in our community have the struggle as well. But you're women though. So you're coddled to a certain degree, whereas as a guy and as a black guy, you're just not coddled like that. Do you get what I'm saying? So the reality is, if everybody's accountable for themselves and okay, there's these stereotypes, there's these personality traits, there's these kind of habits that I may possess that, it may not be my fault, that, it may be social engineering, but I understand that the type of guy that I want to be with in my community is not going to find that desirable, especially a guy that's got any worth and value, is going anywhere in life and he's productive and legitimate. He's not going to want to couple up with Megan Thee Stallion wannabe. He's not, bro. And a lot of women need to understand this thing and stop trying to make excuses. Why? Because at the end of the day, bruh, everybody's got one life to live, bro. Nobody's going to wait around for you to understand and get it, bro. No one's waiting around for that, bro. Do you get what I'm saying? And that's why you do have passport bros. And guess what? A lot of women want to diss passport bros. Yeah, you lot are weak. You can't handle a strong woman. Guess what? He's living his life. What are you doing? You're just arguing with somebody that can't even hear you.
But let me say,
that's sad, bro.
Let me say, you don't ever think that at some point in time, change has to come. And that change is going to come when the black man actually says, "Hey, you need to be loved. Let me teach you how to be loved. Just like a lot of times y'all want women to be your backbone. You want us to accept you where you at. My potential is I might be a millionaire in the future. You want us to have your back. So when is the black man going to pause and say, okay, you woman, you're strong, you're this, you're that, whatever. Let me love you right.
All this strong thing. First issue. Stop telling everyone how strong you are. But stop going on about how strong you are and talk about what you actually bring to the guy's life as a feminine helpmate.
Amen. But that's what I'm trying to say, right?
Strong has got nothing to do with it.
If you I'm not saying I'm strong. I'm not.
You did say you're strong earlier.
I'm saying, yes, I said that earlier. But what I was just saying, I said that earlier. What I'm saying is that you keep on like literal, right? Yeah. The thing that people in the UK do is literal. If you say something, they are literally going to go by what you're saying.
Yes, when I speak, because that's how a logical conversation goes.
I speak, right? A lot of times when I speak, and I keep saying it, I'm speaking in general. So when you come across a woman who is strong-willed, strong-minded, she's combative, she's this, she's that, when do you stop as a man and say, you know what, instead of letting that just turn me off, let me meet her where she's at. She needs to be loved. But maybe her dad didn't love her right. Maybe she's been abused by the men. But that's when change comes. That's where change comes.
No, it don't. That's hopefully the change comes.
You have to change the way your mentality and the way you think. You can't let nobody else come around and make change for you. Exactly. You have to change the way you think.
Like at the end of the day, like, I see you rolling your eyes. Yeah, I'm not impressed yet. But
not at all.
But the thing is, you're in control of you, right?
Yes.
So why are you gonna wait for somebody else to come to you before you change if you know you need change?
It's not about change. That's what I'm saying.
But it is typical. For change to happen, everybody needs to change.
So when you mentioned about like when does the black man kind of take a moment to step back and say like, let me teach the black woman how to love herself. One thing as a woman, as a human being, I don't care who you want to identify as on this God-given earth, right? Is to see those feelings. One thing I learned from very young, and my mother, my mum, and my family taught me, is that the only thing we can control in life is our own reactions to our emotions, right? I can only love me. I'm the only person on this God-given earth that can make me happy. Same way I'm the only person that can make me angry, because guess what? I don't actually have to feed into what someone else does to me. So when we're talking about black women and we're not knowing how to love, baby, you got to teach yourself that.
But
that's why there's so many men and women that are brought up in single households that are grown up and they don't know how to give love or interpret love because their own parent don't know how to love themselves. It's not about waiting for the black man to stop and say, hey, let me love you. No, it's about the black woman taking that minute to love herself. Love herself for this color, the shade of your skin. Love yourself for how picky or unpicky your hair is, of whatever it is.
That you went
because
through.
Guess what? You want to be out here having to go at white women for getting a tan, or having to go out for white women for wearing a wig and that. How it's not I wouldn't say it's exactly culture appropriation. It's just the fact that there's actually, you're upset the fact that other cultures are taking more appreciation of stuff that we started, that we are known for. No. You're more upset about it, but that's an insecurity.
Yes, it's like a contradiction.
Let me say this. Let me say this. Y'all keep trying to tell me what I'm saying, and y'all are not really listening to what I'm saying, and maybe what I'm saying is not translating the right way. I'm not talking about somebody loving themselves. So when you talk about black women loving ourselves, we have gotten to that point.
Your point was
Let me finish. We have gotten to the point where we are loving ourselves. We're taking ourselves on vacation. We're buying houses for ourselves. We're doing things for ourselves. Black women love them. We are loving ourselves. We're learning how to heal ourselves. When I say a black man loving you, it's not about teaching you how to love yourself. It's about teaching you how to love. It's a difference between loving yourself and knowing how to love others. And when I say a black man can take the time to teach a woman how to love another black man.
Why?
What do you mean why?
Why? If you've got, hold on a minute. If you've got self-love, right, and you love yourself, and you have no problem with who you are inside, chip or no chip, doesn't that mean you know how to love?
No.
So reciprocate that self. The same, see the amount of love I have from me? That's the amount of love I pour into my daughter. That's the amount of love I pour into my mother. The amount of love I pour into my friends, because guess what? I know what that feels because I love me like that. So I want to love everyone around me like that. I can't expect someone else to come and teach me how to love them. Then you ain't made for me.
So let me ask you this, right? Let's say you have, let's say you're a person.
Everyone
right?
get the likes up on the video. Get the likes up on the video, man. Stop sitting there like an egg, man.
Let's
get the likes up right now.
Let's say you're a person who has been nothing but misabused, abused, used, all of that, right? By a man, right? The first person you're supposed to love, fall in love with is your father, right? Yep. So let's say from birth, you have had nothing but bad experiences with a man, right? Or let's say if you're a black man, nothing but bad experiences. Do you think as an adult, you are going to know how to logically love another black man or another man in general? You're not, because you've only been abused. Let me finish. You have only been abused and used by men. You're not going to know. So when I say at one point in time, does a black man look at a woman who might seem like a scorned woman and say, you know what? You've never been loved properly. Let me show you what love feels like. And when you have somebody that takes the time and shows you what love feels like, you now take that and you spread that into the world.
But exactly what I was trying to bring, going back to like way when we started this conversation, when you made a comment about what I said, that I sound like I'm coming from her. I'm not coming from her. I'm coming from experience and growth. And as black women, we have grown. We have gone through that experience and we have grown. And guess what? Yeah, as you said, we are self-loving. So replicate that into our community, into the black man, and he will love you back. Straight up, there are millions of happy couples, whether they're in the UK, America, in the Western world, or you know what I mean, in Africa, in their tribes. There are millions of black people that are working well and are loving each other, especially through our Black Power movement. I'm not gonna lie, that literally woke the world up. No matter how many woke people want to try to say it's all still crazy, we a lot of people woke up from that and we realized our power. One thing that black people, we're very spiritual beings. It's in our DNA. So take all of that stuff that we want to be giving out and being upset for other people for using it and bring it into yourself. The biggest thing that you could do for yourself, or whether you're black, white, Asian, whether you're a man or woman, is pour into you. Because then your glass is full.
I agree with you. Let me tell you something. You see what you just said? That's my favorite quote to tell people. You're either going to look at life as a glass is half empty or half full, right?